Hi, good morning. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I want to say welcome to Happy Vibe. Happy Vibe is a channel that talks about everything that got to do with happiness, everything that got to do with achieving happiness. That's what we do here. And I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you're enjoying your weekend because you deserve to enjoy your weekend. If you are those that are always taking your walk to home on Sunday, it's not the best. One thing I want you to understand is you see that work you're doing? There's one secret I want to know. If you lost that job tomorrow or anything happened tomorrow, your company is going to replace you very, very fast. So why don't you enjoy your weekend? So once again, welcome to Happy Vibe. And today we have a special topic today. Now, this topic is something that has really changed my life and it's still changing my life. And it's something I want us to talk about in this episode today. And what is that? I'm talking about self-love. Yes, self-love. Self-love is a topic I really feel I want us to talk about. You know, a lot of people do not understand what is self-love. And self-love is not a buzzword. It's not trending. It's not something that trend. And self-love, it's I call it the spice. You can use any word you want to use, but I call it the spice in finding happiness. If you want to be happy, you want to achieve happiness, self love is what you need in your life, and everything will change. So if you ever feel like happiness is far from reach, or that you are too hard, you are hard on yourself, this video is for you because a lot of people have tried to achieve happiness, but again, it's not coming. I keep saying before in my previous video that happiness is not money. Happiness is not achieving greatness. Happiness is a natural thing. Because guess what? Let's use an example for celebrities today. Today they are stars, tomorrow they are nothing. That's why a lot of people that has made money or is been there's a lot of people that has been known for one thing or the other is after the time of their prime, what happened? They tend to disappear. And most of them feel very bad, but because they've never discovered on how to achieve self-happiness. Now let's talk about what is self-love. We need to understand what is self-love because people don't understand what is self-love. When you say self-love, it means I should love myself more than others. No, that's not self-love. We need to understand what self-love is. No, self-love. Okay, let's start. It's not arrogant. It's not about you being better than others. Just remove that from your mind. When I say self-love, it's not about I want to be better than Mr. B. I want to always I want to take off me all the time. That's not self-love. Self-love, please listen to this. Self-love, it's about respect. It's about kindness. Okay? Two words there. Respect and kindness. And what kind of kindness? Being kind to yourself. It's funny. I'm saying that you need to be kind to yourself. It's about treating yourself the way you would treat someone you deeply care about. A lot of people tend to want to care for people, but they forget about themselves. That's why you ask somebody, are you all right? Now, when you say, are you all right, it does not mean the person is not, but the person is not taking care of himself. Now, this person might be rich. This person has everything. But this person can take care of people. He loves taking care of others. But yourself, you don't do that. So the question is, self-love, is it necessary? Now, we need to understand self-love is key to achieve happiness. Now, let's look at it this way. I'm saying that my feeling matters. My needs matters. That's self-love. Now, when I take be kind to yourself, the kind is just a word, but if you open it, is that my need matters. My feeling matters. And let's say this today, at the end of the month, once people are paid their wages, right, you have budget. I can guarantee that a lot of people do not budget for I'm not saying budget for your recurring bill, but budget for you that go and work. Like for example, you can say, you know what, I want to budget this figure, 100, 200, any amount. I want to buy new things for myself. That is what you're feeling, what you need matter. That's self-love. So the question I have for you today is, when was the last time you were truly kind to yourself? You know, it's easy to say, but the question is, when was the last time you were truly kind to yourself? Feel free to make comment on the section. Because if you're not kind to yourself, you can't achieve happiness. Because self-love is powerful. Now, most of us weren't taught how to love ourselves. It's not something you were. In fact, we're often taught the opposite. We're taught we're taught the opposite. And what is the opposite? We're taught to be humble, to put others first, not to be selfish. To be humble, to put others first, not to be selfish. Yes, but the fact is, you need to put yourself in the picture. You can achieve happiness because self-love is powerful. Now, most of us weren't taught how to love ourselves. It's not something you were. In fact, we're often taught the opposite. We're taught we're taught the opposite. And what is the opposite? We're taught to be humble, to put others first, not to be selfish. To be humble, to put others first, not to be selfish. Yes, but the fact is, you need to put yourself in the picture. But here's the thing: you cannot pour from an empty cup. What am I saying? You can't be humble from an empty cup. Now, if you don't love yourself, every bit of joy, love, now I'll repeat that. If you don't love yourself, now every bit of joy, love, or validation would come from outside. You would always want people to validate your life for you. You would always want your friends to validate your joy. You would always want your friend to go out with you for a meal. You would always want people to give you concept about yourself. And guess what? This is what I call it's conditional. It's temporary. It can't sustain time. But if you love yourself, you do not need anybody to validate your happiness. So let's stop outsourcing our words. You do not need anybody to do that for you. You understand? So your self-love is key. You understand? Please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you shouldn't be humble. I'm not saying you shouldn't put others first, but I'm saying you need to put yourself in the picture. So now, what is the connection between self-love and happiness? No, let's understand what is the connection between self-love and happiness. What's self-love? Without self-love, right, you rely on others to validate your happiness. I'll take that again. Without self-love. Now, self-love, it's a boldness. It's a boldness. It keeps you that no matter what they say, I don't care. I don't care what they say. Guess what? People would always talk. But you know what? I don't care because I love myself. Okay? Without self-love, you chase perfection to feel worthy. You always want people to tell you you are good. You always want people to tell you that you've done well. You always want people to tell you that you've dressed well. But guess what? Stand in the mirror, get dressed, and say, you know what? You are nice. You always want people for accreditation. Now, without self-love, what happened? You hide parts of yourself. Without self-love, you hide parts of yourself. Without self-love. So these are the major areas we need to factor in. Now, with self-love, what happened? When you begin to practice what we are teaching today, what happens? It's simple. Your life will transform. You allow yourself to rest. With self-love, what happened? You allow yourself to rest because you don't need anybody to tell you that you're fine. You don't need anybody to tell you that that you need to be happy. You forgive yourself when you fall. Let's talk about forgiveness. A lot of people don't forgive themselves. But I'm telling you today, you need to forgive yourself. Right? Nobody is perfect. Say something happened in your life and you refuse to forgive yourself. You keep this burden for years. What happened? It kills you. It kills you. So you need to learn to forgive yourself. Please, I need you to write this down. I need to learn to forgive myself. Now, you build happiness that doesn't depend on circumstance. With self-love, you build happiness that doesn't depend on circumstance. Now, what are circumstances? That you do not need people to tell you to be happy. Like today is Sunday, right? If you have the fund, you can say, you know what? I'm going to go to the best restaurant in town. Yes, I'll go there myself. You walk to the restaurant by yourself. You sit down. You order for the best meal. You enjoy yourself. You do not need your friend. You do not need accreditation from people because most people can't go to the restaurant by themselves. It's either they are scared or they feel they want somebody to guide them. But you don't. You don't. And I tell you this, the day you take yourself out, please take it down. The day you take yourself out, begin to practice this, you begin to achieve happiness. You don't need anybody to accredit your happiness because you deserve to be happy. Now, self-love make happiness sustainable. If you depend on your friend to achieve your happiness, is not sustainable. But self-love, it make your happiness sustainable. Now, let's talk about what self-love look like. What does it look like? So what does self-love actually look like? If I say I'm loving myself, is it that I will put others? No. It's like saying no to what drains you. Now, you need to curtail the habit of saying no. Most people are scared to say no. Maybe your friends are saying to do something you don't like. Say no. Yes, say no. It won't cost anything. The worst that will happen is they stop being your friend. But guess what? If they stop being your friend, you get more friend. Yes, you get more friend. And not be scared to lose your friend. Because guess what? They will still live one day. They will still live one day. So you begin to make your choices. Speaking kindly to yourself. You don't need to batter yourself all the time. You need to speak kindly to yourself. Setting boundaries. Most people are scared to set boundaries because I don't want to lose my friend. Lose your friend. Let them go. I was watching one YouTube channel. There's a guy I watch. He used the word bust them. Allow them to go. Because guess what? You get yourself all the time. You need to speak kindly to yourself. Setting boundaries. Most people are scared to set boundaries because I don't want to lose my friend. Lose your friend. Let them go. I was watching one YouTube channel. There's a guy I watch. He used the word bust them. Allow them to go. Because guess what? You get new friends. You get new friends. Don't keep them. Now, resting without guilt. That's what self-love does to you. You don't have any guilt. You don't want Mr. B, Mr. C. No, it's all about you. The happiness comes from you. So what does self-love look like? Letting go of toxic people. I love this one. Letting go of toxic people. There's some friends you have, even you yourself, you know that whenever you're going out with this person, it makes your life horrible. And guess what? These people do not have your time. These people do not care about you. Allow toxic people to live your life. You got to allow them go. You got to allow them go. Because it will kill you. Toxic people will drain you. And toxic people, what they do is, they take your money, they take your time, they take everything about you. They don't care about you. So please make this decision. What is self-love look like? Letting yourself be imperfect. Yes, letting yourself to be what? Imperfect. Nobody's perfect. Okay, I started this channel few months ago. I don't know how to do YouTube. I guess, you know what? I have something to give. I do not want to be perfect. I just want to grow. So that's what self-love is. It will take you there. Now, how do we build self-love? Yeah, how do we build self-love? There are 5 practical help that can help you do that. Please, I want you to take your pen down, please. Number 1, mirror work. What's mirror work? Looking into your eyes and say one kind thing every morning. This is amazing. How many of you have done this before? Stand in your mirror every day, look in the mirror and said, you know what? You are amazing. You are nice. You are doing well. You achieve great things. Look at the mirror every day, right? And say good words to yourself. Just one word every day. So between Monday and Saturday, for 7 days, you will say good word to yourself. Journal and now write about your need, fears, and win. Take a paper, take a book, okay? Just write your need, your fear, and your win. A column, begin to write it down. What are your needs? What scares you? And what you've achieved every single time. You can do this at the end of the month. You will know that a lot has been happening in your life, that you don't need them to achieve that goal. Okay? Now, boundaries. Learn to say no. You really need to say no. Wow, our time is fast gone. This is an amazing topic. Our time is fast gone. You need to learn to say no. Now, celebrate yourself. Acknowledge your growth. You need to celebrate yourself often. A lot of people don't celebrate themselves. You need to celebrate yourself, right? Once in a while, take yourself out. Now, if you're married, right, I'm not saying you should leave your family, but make time for yourself. You alone, go out and have fun. Because if you're happy, the family will be happy. Okay? Now, forgiveness. Let go of past shame. Yes, let go of past shame. Let go of past issue. Strive on. These are the 5 principles to help you build self-love. Now, let's look at, finally, we'll be looking at just like a reflection. At this moment, ask yourself, take a deep breath and reflect and ask yourself, am I doing my best? Am I learning to love myself? Ask yourself this question. Am I learning to love myself? So the question is, you need to begin to love yourself. You need to begin to love yourself. You need to begin to love yourself. But I want you to know this. Self-love is a journey, not a destination. It's a journey. Because if you want to do self-love, a lot of things will change around you. Your friends will use this word. Is proud. It thinks it's better than us. No, that's not what you're doing. What you're trying to do is you're trying to protect your happiness. Because if your happiness is taken from you, it affects you psychologically. It affects you emotionally. It affects you all around of life. But please, I need you to start this journey today. Sometimes you deserve a life where your happiness isn't tied to perfection. I'll take that again. You deserve a life where your happiness is not tied to perfection, approval or pressure. You deserve love, and it starts with you. Thank you so much if you've watched to this time, I want to say thank you so much. And remember, you deserve to be happy. And don't be too hard to yourself. Forgive yourself. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. Because guess what? You need time. The life is short. But while we are living, we need to learn to love yourself. Please feel free to share love and share this video to your friends. Somebody you feel that will need it. Somebody that is always hard to themselves, that they don't need to be hard to themselves. Because you need to love yourself. And remember the five practice to help you build your self-love. Mirror works, boundaries, celebrate yourself, and forgive yourself. So once again, thank you once again for watching Happy Vibe. And remember, you deserve to be happy because nobody cares. It is only you that cares about yourself. People can pretend to do because of what they want from you, but it's only you that would love yourself more than anybody. So thank you once again and have a lovely day. And yes, thank you.